Just roll with it. You're asked to pick a calling. In this journal, your calling is your focus area, your theme for the coming months. It's an area of your life that you feel called to change, something you'd like to step into, to develop, learn, or transform. Some examples could include things like strength, really focusing on your physical body and its capacity, or service, finding your way to give back to your community, or creativity, developing some new creative talents or working towards creating or building something novel. I created the concept of a calling for a couple of reasons. I think a common pitfall we often face while starting down the path of growth, while trying to build lives we feel good in and proud of, is that we bite off too much all at once. We're trying to get into shape, meditate, build social connections, step up our game at work, all in one fell swoop. While it's an admirable impulse and often coming from genuine desire, we generally find ourselves polarizing from doing everything to doing nothing. So by choosing a calling, you commit to narrowing your focus, to building behaviors and habits in one area of your life. This makes it a more navigable path and more readily achievable of a destination. Because change, true lasting change, generally happens slowly and in one area at a time. Now, these changes stack, and positive habits facilitate the development of other positive habits, but they usually form more like a ladder, sort of one rung at a time, not like a bursting dam that sort of releases an enormous amount of energy but then leaves you drained. Also, willpower is a limited resource, and habits do take some willpower to build in the beginning. So you really do yourself no favors by trying to build too many at once and spreading your willpower thin. Once you build a habit, it doesn't really require much willpower to maintain, but that first phase of development is most effective if your energy isn't pulled in multiple directions and you can instead focus on one area of your life. It also just feels reasonable to me, like focusing on one area of your life for 3-ish months sounds challenging, but also doable, right? Self-efficacy, sort of the belief in your ability to accomplish something, is a critical component of motivation. And we want our goals to feel exciting and challenging, but we must also believe that we are capable of achieving them. And by framing it as a general area of focus rather than a specific outcome you're working towards, it sort of leaves some room for flexibility. You can pursue your focus area in many different ways and experiment a bit. And it's just, in that sense, less fundamentally punishing. As long as you're doing something, anything, you're making progress, even if you're not living up to the initial vision of what you hope to achieve. And those small wins along the way will really allow you to build and maintain momentum. Finally, it just thematically fits. You're going on an epic quest to save the realm, to save Glimmerwood. And it seems fitting that you should have some epic calling, not just some simple pedestrian goals or something like that. Now, picking a calling can be a daunting endeavor in and of itself. Like, what is it you're truly feeling called to work on? For some of you, you might immediately have something that comes to mind, but for others, it might require more introspection. So if you're struggling to choose a calling, you can try something like this. Begin by imagining your ideal self 5 to 10 years from now. Start with just imagining a day in your life. What is it that you're doing? How are you feeling? How do you look? Who are you with? Just kind of go through these types of questions and write down as many words as you can to describe what you just visualized. Now, see if you can find a word that sort of summarizes a handful of those words that you just wrote down. Was it a scene that had a lot of balance in it? Did you feel really strong? Were you surrounded by community and social connection? These are some of the things that might kind of indicate what your calling could be. So iterate on various questions like these until you have a more solid sense of what you want to work on in the coming months. Once you've done that, open Just Roll With It and choose a character that seems to align most with that calling that you just picked and begin your adventure. Just Roll With It is coming to Kickstarter May 27th. Please like and subscribe to be among the first brave adventurers embarking on a quest to liberate Glimmerwood. Thank you so much. Your support is greatly appreciated. Till next time.